What's going on, Hyperdrivers? I got one more Hot Toys video to knock out before the new year, and this one was a little Christmas present to myself. Today we're taking a look at the all-new Hot Toys K-2SO 6-scale figure based on his appearance from Andor on Disney+. I've wanted a K-2SO in my collection for a long time, but he's always been kind of priced out for me. He's always been one of my favorite droids, but after seeing him in Andor, he somehow became even more badass. I picked this one up from toysassemble.com where he's already shipping, and I've had a great experience with Toys Assemble over the years. They honestly are the best place for me to get figures quickly. And if you're looking to pick up K-2SO for yourself, he's available at Toys Assemble or at Sideshow. I've got links down below. Now, I should mention up front that I never owned the original Hot Toys K-2SO that was released years ago, or the KX Enforcer droid that came out from the Book of Boba Fett. So I really can't compare it directly to either one of those to let you know whether it's worth upgrading from those figures. But what I can do is take a close look at the new release and give you my thoughts. Starting out with the box, there's nothing extremely special here. This is TMS 156, and interestingly enough, there's no official Andor logo on the box. However, on the back it does say Television Masterpiece Series, so this is definitely the Andor version. Besides the figure, you're going to also get an ISB tactical blaster rifle like the one K-2SO picks up in the final episode of Andor.
Vader.
An SE-14R light repeating blaster similar to the one that Jyn Erso gives him in Rogue One. A Hot Toys USB-C power supply and a cable for the LED lights, a standard Hot Toys Star Wars display base with a Star Wars K-2SO display plaque, a swap out cover for the base that looks like stone, I think, but honestly I'm not 100% sure, and a special crotch grabber designed to fit between K-2SO's leg joints. And finally, we get the figure, and let me tell you, this thing is incredible. One of the biggest surprises for me was the weight. It never really mentions that there's any die-cast or metal pieces, but this is a heavy figure. Most of the body is plastic with metal joints, but the shins are fully metal, which adds a lot of heft and stability. Just like with the General Grievous figure I unboxed recently, Hot Toys absolutely went all out on the details. You've got sculpted panel lines, visible vents, and between the arm and leg joints, there's piping that makes it look like actual cables are holding him together. And on the back, there's even what looks like a terminal port where another droid could interface with him. That's pretty cool. The armor features subtle weathering throughout. You can see minor scuffs and chip paint, especially around the Imperial logos on the shoulders. It's tastefully done and doesn't feel overdone at all. And K-2SO is a big figure. He stands about 15 inches tall, so keep that in mind. This guy's gonna take up a lot of shelf space. And there's a ton of articulation to help you dial in that pose. The head can rotate a full 360 degrees and tilt side to side. The neck moves forward and back and laterally. To move the arms, you'll need to move the shoulder pads down, after which the arms can extend 90 degrees outward. The arms can also move forward and back about 180 degrees with a separate joint at the shoulder, allowing for slight pivoting. The biceps can rotate about 360 degrees and the elbows bend about 90 degrees with stop points, but no ratcheting. Just like with the elbows, the wrists do not feature any ratcheting, but do have stop points, allowing you to move them forward and back about 180 degrees. They also do rotate about 360 degrees. The hands are fixed and they do not come off, but each finger is individually articulated for gripping weapons and other figures. There's no movement at the waist, but the upper torso has its own joint, allowing you to rotate about 180 degrees and allowing for side-to-side movement. The upper legs have a slight lateral movement, but they can fully rotate 180 degrees forward and back.
Vader.
And just like with the elbows and wrists, the knees have stopping points, allowing you to bend backwards 90 degrees. And just above the kneecap, you can rotate the lower leg 360 degrees. The ankles are the only part that features ratcheting, allowing you to lock in that position. They rotate forward and back 180 degrees. And they can also pivot side to side, really allowing you to plant those feet. And finally, the toes pivot as well, allowing for a full 180 degrees of rotation. Now this figure features LED light up eyes that are powered by a USB cable. To plug in the cable, you'll need to remove the head. Underneath, there's a small flap that you'll need to pry open with a nail or a tool to expose the port. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty tight. If you got bigger fingers, it might be a little frustrating. A real quick tip here though, before closing it back up, make sure you turn on the lights to make sure they're working. The head also features rotating eyes to help you convey even more emotion. To access them, the top portion of the head pops off and it's on there very firmly. Just pulling on it won't work. I found the best thing to do is slide my nail under the front part of the mouth area, allowing me to gently pry it open. And once it's open, now you can access the eyes. And let me tell you, it's pretty stiff to rotate, so just keep that in mind. And another important tip here, be very careful of the two tusks on the front of the mouth. They're very brittle and can break very easily, so make sure you're paying attention to that when you're popping off the head. Now, after posing this figure, I can confidently say that I really like this figure. For such a large figure, K-2SO is surprisingly well balanced. You don't really need a display stand. He can stand completely on his own without an issue. My biggest nitpick would probably be the light up eyes. I absolutely love them and I think they bring life to the figure. When they're off, they just don't have that same presence. Unfortunately, the cable isn't long enough to make this work without using the base. That said, the base actually does a great job with cable management. I found the best method was to run the cable between the back antenna and then wrap it around the crotch grabber. But if you're like me and prefer to not use display stands, you're kind of out of luck here. Another thing I noticed is the fingers aren't super tight. The smaller blaster works fine, but with the rifle, it tends to want to slip out and fall out of his hands. Still, K-2SO is a tough looking droid. The arms are strong enough that he can easily hold another figure like this stormtrooper without any issue. The movable eyes really help convey emotion and almost make him feel alive on my shelf. Overall, I'm extremely happy with this release and I can't wait to pair him with Cassian Andor next year. But those are my thoughts on this new Hot Toys K-2SO figure. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments below, and until next time, Happy New Year and may the Force be with you.